If you're buying Grüns because you think it's a legit greens product, pause. I'm not here to shit on it. I'm here to save you money. Because the truth is, it's priced like a miracle, but it functions more like an expensive fiber and multivitamin gummy with a greens halo. And that's not even a Grüns problem. This is a gummy problem. Gummies always force trade-offs: taste, shelf stability, and how much you can actually fit in a daily dose. So I'm gonna read this label like a manufacturer and tell you what's actually doing the work, what's just decoration, and who this is actually worth it for. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm a guy who makes this stuff for a living. I've been in the supplement industry for over a decade now making this stuff. And I'm not saying Grüns is bad. I'm saying it's being positioned as one thing when it mostly delivers another. So here's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna give you the bottom line verdict first, then we'll do the gummy trade-off thing, and then we'll go line by line on the label. So, bottom line, if you struggle to take anything consistently and you want a better than nothing gummy, Grüns is fine. If you want a real greens product, this isn't that. If we're in a gummy bubble, Grüns might be the indicator. I think we're all gonna look back in 10 years and go, remember when we tried to eat candy to get our daily greens? That was funny, huh? All right, let's talk trade-offs that gummies have to make. In plain English, so I don't get accused of just being a hater. For starters, a gummy is not a supplement format. A gummy is a candy delivery system that we occasionally sneak nutrients into. And when you choose candy as the vehicle, you pay for it. Every time. Here are the 4 trade-offs that gummies force. So once you know them, you can look at any gummy label and basically predict what you're gonna see. First, space. A gummy can only hold so much. So if the label has 40 ingredients listed on it, that usually means most of them are in the sprinkled on top for vibes category. It's like putting one spinach leaf on a pizza and calling it plant-based. Second, taste. If a gummy tastes good, something had to give. Because you're trying to put minerals, plant powders, and other deeply unsexy things into something you want to chew. Which is why gummies almost always lean on ingredients that are easier to hide, like fiber, light vitamins, and small dose extras. Third, shelf stability. Gummies have to survive heat, time, and shipping. So certain actives either don't play nice, or they only play nice if you use them at decorative levels. Not necessarily because the brand is evil, but because physics is evil. And fourth, cost. Gummies are really expensive to make relative to what they can deliver. So brands have a choice. Either charge a premium or cut the dose. Or my personal favorite, do both. Which brings us back to Grüns. So when we look at this label, we're not asking, is it good or bad? We're asking, what did they prioritize and what did they have to compromise on because it's a gummy? So let's go line by line and see what's actually doing the work and what's just here to wear the Grüns costume. Okay, label time. First thing I'll say, this is actually a solid multivitamin gummy. Like, if the only job was be a gummy multi, it's doing the job. So look at this. Vitamins A, C, D, E, the Bs, folate, B12, biotin, pantothenic acid. A bunch of these are at 100% daily value. That's very doable in a gummy format because vitamins don't take up a ton of space. So credit where credit's due. This part is legit. Where gummies usually start crying is minerals, because minerals are bulky and taste like licking a tool. And yep, that's what happens here. Iron, iodine, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese. Most of these are like 25% daily value-ish. Again, normal. Not scandalous, just don't buy this thinking it's an everything you need mineral product. It's not. It's a gummy multivitamin. Now, here's the part that's doing the real work. Total carbs, 15 grams. Fiber, 6 grams, which is honestly solid. 6 grams of fiber in a daily pack is meaningful. And notice up top they're bragging, only 9 grams of net carbs. That's because 15 minus 6 equals 9, which, yes, that's how subtraction works. But it also tells you exactly what this product actually is. This is a multivitamin plus a fiber gummy wearing a Grüns costume. Because now we get to the core nutrients blend, 8.7 grams. And you're like, oh wow, that's a lot. Maybe the Grüns are actually doing something. Then you look at the ingredients, and the first 2 ingredients are fiber ingredients, tapioca fiber and inulin. So let's do manufacturer math for a second. You've got 6 grams of fiber on the label. The entire blend is 8.7 grams. And the first 2 ingredients are basically there to be fiber. So where exactly are the greens living? Because numerically, this is like buying a car because it has a cool spoiler. Like, yes, it's there. Is it the point? No. Because even if I'm being generous, and I'm being generous, most of that 8.7 grams is being used up by the fiber system, which means everything after those first 2 ingredients, your kale, spinach, spirulina, wheatgrass, mushrooms, adaptogens, fruits, whatever, those are splitting up the remaining leftovers. And when you have dozens of ingredients sharing the proprietary blend leftovers, that's not a greens product. That's a marketing story. It's like garnish pretending to be dinner. So if you buy this and you're like, I'm getting my daily greens, I just want you to know the label doesn't support that. What it supports is you're getting a solid gummy multivitamin and you're getting fiber. And then you're getting a long ingredient list that makes you feel like a responsible adult, which, to be fair, is a powerful emotion. Now, does that mean it's worthless? No. It just means you should buy it for what it actually is and recognize what it isn't. So here's the bottom line. If you want a convenient daily multivitamin and fiber, and you like the habit, and it helps you be consistent, great, or fine. If you want a real greens product with meaningful doses of greens and mushrooms and all that, this is not that. Now, here's why I'm even talking about this brand. Because Grüns didn't just do well. Grüns is blowing up. Their CEO, Chad Janis, has publicly said recently that the company hit something like a $300 million annual run rate in about 2 years. That is insane. That's not normal in supplements. That's like tech startup growth. Whether you love it or hate it, that means one thing. This isn't a cute little wellness brand anymore. This is a behavior change. This is a new category. And the thing that's fascinating is how fast it came out of nowhere. Like one day nobody's talking about it, and the next day everybody's chewing their daily greens like it's a reward system for being a functional adult. And I actually heard a story firsthand recently that's too perfect not to share. So recently I was at an executive event and watching a panel of VCs talk. And one of them said they missed investing in Grüns early. He said that the founder, Chad Janis, had mailed him an early prototype. Basically this green blob. And during shipping, it melted, congealed, and showed up looking like something you'd scrape out of the bottom of a lunchbox. He wasn't impressed with the product at the time, but he said he was very impressed with the founder. And he also said part of why they passed is the founder was working on like 3 or 4 other things at the same time, and they were worried he wouldn't focus. So yeah, that's the story of every investor's worst nightmare. But here's why I'm telling you this. When a product scales that hard, that fast, it's not because the label is magical. It's because the marketing and the format are genius. Let me explain why this works, because once you see it, you're gonna start spotting it everywhere. Step 1, they choose the most compliant supplement format on earth. Powder greens, people buy it, use it for 3 days, and then it becomes counter decor or gets shoved in the back of the cabinet. Pills, people forget. But candy gets eaten. This isn't a supplement. It's an adult sticker chart. Second, they're not really selling you fiber or vitamin A. They're selling you the identity of someone who has their health together. And the greens halo is perfect for that, because greens are the ultimate moral virtue signal in wellness. If you tell someone you took your greens today, they treat you like you have a retirement account. And third, the label is built to tell a story. Look at this ingredient list. Mushrooms, fruits, greens, adaptogens. It reads like a fantasy novel where every character is named after a plant. And again, this isn't me saying it's evil. This is just how you sell something in a gummy format. Because remember the trade-offs: space, taste, stability, cost. So if you're trying to make a gummy people will actually chew every day, you can't stuff it with huge amounts of greens powder. So you do what the format allows. You make the multivitamin legit because that's doable. You make the fiber meaningful because fiber is actually functional. And then you add the greens story in a way that makes people feel like they're doing the right thing. All right, so who is Grüns actually for? I'd say it's worth it if you're the kind of person who struggles to stay consistent with anything, and you want the easiest possible, better than nothing daily habit. Because Grüns is basically multivitamin plus fiber and the routine. And 6 grams of fiber is not nothing. A lot of people are walking around eating like 3 grams of fiber a day and wondering why life feels complicated. Difficult to push through, you might say. So if you buy it for fiber and habit, fine. Skip it if you're buying this because you want a real greens product. Like you want meaningful greens intake, phytonutrients, or you're trying to replace vegetables. But don't get it twisted. This isn't that. This is not daily greens. This is daily gummy that makes me feel like I did greens. And I get it, but those aren't the same thing. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, okay, smart guy, what should I do instead? Here are the practical swaps based on your goal. If your goal is fiber, don't overcomplicate it. You can get fiber cheaper than this in about 12 different ways. You can do a fiber supplement and a basic multivitamin. Or foods, if you're a person who enjoys chewing beans on purpose. I'm not judging, I'm just saying there are options. If your goal is actually greens, then you want a product that's honest about what it is. Usually a powder, because that's the format that can actually deliver the grams. And even then, greens powders are not vegetables. They're a supplement. They can be helpful, but they're not a magic replacement for eating like an adult. If you love the I will actually take this part, keep that. Just don't pay for the greens halo. You can do a basic multivitamin and fiber, and you've basically recreated the meaningful part of this product without buying the story. So here's the bottom line. Grüns is incredibly clever marketing. It's not a scam. It's not poison. It's a solid gummy multivitamin plus meaningful fiber wearing a greens costume. And if you buy it for what it actually is, cool. Do you. At least now you can make an informed decision. If you want me to do more of these, brands that are blowing up and whether the label matches the hype, comment the next product you keep seeing everywhere, and I'll do that next. And if you're building a supplement brand and you want a second set of eyes on a formula, label, or positioning, I do consulting. Link below. Thanks for checking out Bottom Line. I'll see you next time.